wholesaling by far is the easiest way to become a real estate investor and get your foot in the door into the real estate investing game. My name is Daniel Klein, and today I'm going to go over with you the pros and cons of wholesaling single family homes. So one of the biggest pros of wholesaling property, single family homes, is you don't need any money. Okay. Just recently, my son Daniel Jr., who's 19, by the way, just made $175,000 wholesaling one single house. So did he do that with any cash? No. He got a call off of a Craigslist ad, and he went out to the house, put the property under contract, and then assigned or sold his contract to another investor for $175,000 more than he contracted with the seller. Huge money, especially at 19. What would that kind of money do for you? Now, I told him, hey, every deal's not going to be this sweet. So don't get accustomed to $175,000 referral fees on every deal. But hey, listen, what if you're doing $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 referral fees? What would that do for you on a monthly basis as additional income? Could be huge. Okay. You also don't need any credit. So, I mean, who's going to check your credit report to put a property under contract? Nobody. I've never been asked for it. Daniel Jr. wasn't asked for it. So, another pro is there's no credit required to wholesale single family homes. Another pro is, and I've already kind of talked about this a little bit, the ability to generate cash like super fast. So Daniel Jr. turned $175,000 deal in about 3 weeks. And so, those $5, $10, $15,000 paychecks could be coming in 2 to 3 weeks time. That's huge. Okay. Another pro is the contracts. They're not that complicated. I mean, you put your name, the seller's name, the address of the house, when you're going to close, and how much you're going to pay for it. I mean, it's not that complicated. So, and then another really big pro to wholesaling single family homes is there's not a large learning curve. I mean, you have to do some due diligence. You have to be a good negotiator. You have to be able to estimate repairs. And there's some other things that you have to learn. But the learning curve is much, much shorter on this style transaction than on, say, something like a creative finance deal. So let's talk about the cons. We talked about the pros, and they're really good. I love wholesaling. I'm really good at wholesaling, and I've wholesaled a lot of deals. But let's talk about some cons. So the cons are, hey, you're only working on your cash now profit center. So in any transaction that you do, you have cash now, cash flow, and cash later. Well, in this instance of wholesaling single family homes, you're only generating cash now. So in other words, you're working once, you're getting paid once. And so for me, that's a con. Here's an idea. This is what I do. I go wholesale a home, a single family home. I take that money, I go and buy, say, a rental or a long-term hold. And so that's a great strategy. It's worked for me for years. I love that. Okay. You also, another con is you have to know how to estimate repairs. So you have to be able to walk into a house and know, hey, how much is a roof going to cost? How much is a new air conditioner going to cost? What do the cosmetic repairs cost? You've got to know that stuff. And some of these folks are doing this virtually. So you have to be able to determine that just by photos. So it's not impossible. It can definitely be done, but it's just a con to doing wholesale in that's a learning curve. It's something that you're going to have to get really good at and learn and fairly quickly. Another con is you're going to have a buyer's database. So, when you sign a contract with a seller, what are you going to do with your contract? Well, you're going to go market it to the investor community. Well, what if you don't know any investors? What do you do? Hey, here's an idea. Find another investor that's already wholesaling and maybe has been in the business for a while. Take the contract to him. Say, hey, I want this amount of money for the contract. Anything that you can get above and beyond that, hey, it's yours. What wholesaler or investor would turn that away? Like a free deal that they can market and make some money off of? That's a great way to quote unquote borrow someone else's database, and while you're growing yours. Another con to wholesaling is sometimes the income is inconsistent. You might do a wholesale this month and maybe not do a wholesale for another month or two. And so if you're counting on that money to live on, have a good system, have a good team in place. have good marketing, have that database already built of investors that you can assign or sell your contract to. And so if you don't, you could be looking at potentially inconsistent income. And so my recommendation would be is, hey, ease on into it. Don't just jump in full time and now you're dependent on that money to, pay your bills and feed your family. So there's also another con, legal regulations. So I know that some states are now actually, you have to be a licensed real estate agent to be a wholesaler. I can think of two states off the top of my head, Illinois and Oklahoma. Those two states, you must be licensed. Guys, do not wholesale in those states if you don't have a real estate license. You could get yourself in trouble. Okay. Another con is you have to be a good negotiator. If you've not been in a position professionally where you have to negotiate, that might be difficult for you, but you have to be a good negotiator. The lower price that you can get for the contract that you're signing with the seller, the more opportunity you have to make a really great payday when you sell that contract to another investor for a fee. And so obviously you want your fee to be as big as possible, right? Well, you got to be a good negotiator. So you need to brush up on those skills or actually acquire those skills potentially. All right. And then the last con that I have is you have to be able to accept rejection. Guys, you're going to hear no, 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 no over and over and over again. You know what I do when I hear no's? I celebrate. Hey, I got a no. You know what a no means to me? It means I'm that much closer to a yes. So listen, wholesaling is absolutely the easiest way to get into the real estate game. Don't be deterred by the cons. Study up, get yourself a contract, start learning how to negotiate, start learning how to estimate repairs, start to network with other investors who have large databases. That's how you can shorten your learning curve. And those cons then could actually turn out to be a pro. So get started. The best way to have success is to take action.